Hi everyone and welcome to our first edition of the H&H Debriefing for 2015. I am Heather Waters and I'm here with Jen Proffitt and Megan Frampton. And today we actually wanted to open the floor to discussion of your favorite book couples of all time. And the reason that we're asking about that is that we are looking for a list of names for a potential couples battle that we think could be a lot of fun for the community to participate in and vote on. So Megan, Jen, and I will all kind of share some of our favorite book couples of all time, and then we will ask that you guys in the comments kind of share your favorites of all time so that we can make sure they're included in our preliminary round of a future couples battle. So Megan, let's start with you. Who are some of your favorite book couples?
Well, I think I would have to say that, let's see, Lizzie and Darcy from Pride and Prejudice. I know. Jane Eyre and Rochester from Jane Eyre. And then Jessica and Dane from Lord of Scoundrels. So those are all very historical-ish, although the first two, whatever.
Very literary of you, Megan.
Yeah. But when I think of iconic couples, that's what I think of. I think about the sparks between Lizzie and Darcy and the brooding intensity on both sides of Jane Eyre and Rochester. And Dane and Jessica are just perfect for each other because she thinks he's impossibly sexy and he just doesn't get her. And oh my God. So, and then I'd have to move over to paranormal or urban fantasy or whatever because I've just read Karen Marie Moning's Burned, which reinforced again what a great couple Mac and Barrons are. They work together perfectly. They're amazing. And then also coming out soon would be Janine Frost, who's, I think it's Twice Tempted, I forget, the Vlad and Leela coupling, and I find them really amazing together, even though they're an ongoing couple, which normally neither I nor Jen likes. But I really like them, and I find them really compelling together, and they're some of my favorite couples, too. So that's it for me.
Jen, how about you?
Are you skipping out on this? You just couldn't pick your favorite couple?
We'll save the best for last.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, nice.
So I compiled the list because I knew that I wouldn't be able to come up with something off the top of my head. But Barrons and Mac is another one that really just resonated for me. It's a couple I don't typically like, couples that go from book to book to book, but there's just so much tension and they're so compelling. And you want to find out the mystery behind Barrons in the early books, so you just keep reading. And then, like, for me, it was over Thanksgiving, all of a sudden, 3 days and 3 books.
I was going to say, you just discovered them, and now
Yeah. Well, it was in another debriefing where I called out, this is a book that I am ashamed, or this is a series that I am ashamed to say that I've never, dipped my toe into. And you guys all convinced me, both the community and, the team. And, but yeah, Barrons and Mac are, like, it for me. They're really great. And then I had to go back. I didn't go classic literature like Megan did, but I did go back to an early series for me. Mercedes Lackey, she's one of the authors that I say, like, she was my gateway author. Like, she had romantic fantasy, and that kind of led me into romance novels. So Dirk and Talia from her Arrows of the Queen series and sub-series of the Voldemort series is the couple for me. Dirk is actually described as not being at all attractive. He, I think his hair is often described as looking like straw, and that's just been slapped on top of a head, and his face is just kind of like, it's just not attractive. He's not a cute guy. And Talia is a very important person in the kingdom, and they work together, and they shouldn't really work together in both senses of the words, and they just are perfect to me. And then I had to narrow down a couple from Kresley Cole, because of course this list for me wouldn't be complete without a Kresley Cole couple. I thought about all of the books that I typically read, and so I just reread for her, because I am a big rereader. Lothair and Elizabeth, Lachlan and Emmy, and Bowen and Mariquetta all kind of are, big couples for me, and I reread their books all the time, but it's really Holly and Cadian is the book that I reread over and over again.
And what book is that? What title is that?
That is, oh gosh, they're all, is it Dark Desires After Dusk? Someone chime in the comments and let me know if I'm getting that right off the top of my head, but that is the book that I reread all the time. It might not be that one, but there were I think it was in the next comment thread, we were all kind of joking that it's like, you know, dark something after dusk, after night, after winter's night, like it's just
dark chocolate after tea.
Yeah, like it's just they get kind of mixed up in my head, but I think it is Dark Desires After Dusk. And then Raven Cleo is a recent one from Tessa Dare's Say Yes to the Marquess that has really resonated with me. They're probably my favorite couple that I've read so far in 2015. They're a 2014 book, but they're gonna make it for my list for 2015.
Nice. And I guess I will round off our favorites with mine. I still, in romantic suspense, always go back to Suzanne Brockman's Over the Edge, which introduced two couples that I still love. One being Sam and Alyssa, who actually had been in previous books before, but this was the first of Brockman's that I read, and it's definitely where the angst gets ratcheted up to a 9 out of 10, I would say, with the 10 coming later. Without giving too much away, it is, you know, Alyssa works for the FBI, Sam is a SEAL, they have a past history. During the mission in this book, they're kind of forced together again and things kind of ignite, and they're all prepared to be together when a humongous roadblock gets thrown in their way, and it leaves you on such a cliffhanger that you are just dying for them to get their own book, which they eventually do. And Max and Gina, they're involved in a hostage situation, and that's actually how they first meet. And so obviously very, very intense, kind of like you're watching some sort of action movie where they're ending up together in the end, and it's one of those that the bonds get formed in the middle of danger. And I don't know, something about that I've always found very compelling, and she handles it very well and you know, tells their story over multiple books. So that's a lot of fun. And for contemporary, I'd have to say Susan Elizabeth Phillips' Ain't She Sweet is still one of my favorite contemporaries of all time. Sugar Beth and Colin are both terrible people at different times, but totally deserve each other, and it just works so perfectly for me. I kind of like those kind of unlikable characters who find that together they are kind of better than they are apart, and I think that really works for them. They really bring out the best in each other, even having done terrible things in their past. And for paranormal, I have to say I'm going to go with a YA and say that it would be Graceling from Kristen Kashore and her character Katza and Poe, and both of them are assassins, and that is one of my favorite types of characters. So
I was going to say, I'm sensing a theme here.
Yeah, I love those badass characters that, you know, work really well together as partners, and Katza and Poe, you see them in other companion books too, and they're still just doing their thing, and they love it, and they love each other, and it's just, that's my favorite type of thing. So readers, please do weigh in, either here or in Megan's post about couples with the best chemistry, and we will be kind of rounding up all of your answers and adding them to our list. And look for a couples battle from us probably sometime around our birthday, which is Valentine's Day. And we'll let you guys vote on your favorite couples of all time, and we'll have a bit of a showdown to see who the #1 couple of all time is, according to you guys. So we hope that you have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week for another edition of the H&H Debriefing. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.